So next topic is polymorphism. Yeah. So you can see here, what is polymorphism? Just understand, poly means many, morphism is a change. So when one task is performed in different ways, is known as a polymorphism. So for example, you are speaking with your friends, very jovially will chat, right? So when you are speaking with your enemy, you will answer very rudely, right? So when you are speaking with your manager, with your friends, so this speaking is common, but performing in different ways based on the situation. So that is called polymorphism. And the polymorphisms are two types: compile time polymorphism, runtime polymorphism. And compile time polymorphism means if you overload static methods, then it is a compile time polymorphism. And runtime polymorphism, I'm going to discuss later. So to achieve this polymorphism, you are going to use two concepts. One is method overloading, and second one, method overriding. These are the two concepts you are going to use to achieve the polymorphism. And what is method overloading? First way to achieve polymorphism is through method overloading. So what is method overloading? And I have discussed already constructor overloading. Yeah. So now we are discussing method overloading. Similar definition, no difference in that. The method overloading means a class have multiple methods with the same name. Method name must be same, multiple methods, but different arguments, different parameters. Parameters are different, but method name is same in one class. That is called method overloading. So what is the definition? A class can have multiple methods with the same name, but different parameters is known as a method overloading. And that's why I explained constructor overloading. Similar, there is a constructor. In the class, multiple constructors are the same name, parameters are different. But here, method overloading means multiple methods with the same name, but parameters are different, method to method. That's how compiler will differentiate. Method name is same you are giving, but how you can differentiate the one method with other method? By parameter list will vary. Parameter data type will vary. So that is called method overloading. Then what is the advantage by making these multiple methods with same name? If you want to perform one operation, so having same name of the method will increase the readability of the program. See, otherwise, every method, if you give a different name, how many you can remember? It's not possible, right? Same operation they are performing. Instead of giving a different name, give the method name same, but arguments you change. That means parameters you change. Then it will be easy for remembering those methods, and that will help us. So advantage of method overloading. What are the advantages? Method overloading will increase the readability of the program. Okay, so different ways how you can achieve method overloading. So the ways you can achieve method overloading is one. There are two ways to overload the methods. One is by changing number of parameters or arguments. First way is two different methods, you change the arguments. Maybe first method, you give one parameter. Second method, you give two parameters. So it increase the number of parameters. So number of parameters increase. Then compiler will understand. So which method you are calling, that method. So if you pass the number of arguments, it will go and call that method body. So where you already defined, right? You defined a method with particular arguments, particular parameters. That parameters, if you are giving, and it will automatically understand, okay, you are calling this method, even the method name same, it will understand, okay, this method has a two parameters or one parameter. If you call two parameters, it will go to two parameterized method body. If you call method with one parameter, it will go to one method parameterized body. And that logic method body inside what logic you implemented, that logic will execute for you. This is how the connection will happen between method body and method call. This is also sometimes we call method connection between method body and calling is called binding, we call that. So that binding will happen in the compile time itself for this method overloading. If you are overloading the static methods. Second part, by changing the data type of the parameter. Suppose two methods, same parameter count is there. One parameter, but make sure the parameter data type is different in both the methods. Maybe one is a string, another one is an integer, even though one parameter, but parameter data type should be different. So that you have to take care while creating the methods. So I'll show you in the real time how this method overloading already applied. Let me show you in the Selenium how this concept is utilized in Selenium already. So this all in the Java is interrelated in the Selenium. That's why I'm telling you, you have to be very, very careful on the Java. Java is not there, nobody will take it. Even in so that's why Java, where we are going very deeply, is because of that reason only we are going very strong. So go to API docs and you can see how Java is used here. Everything, see, package name, class name. This is the inheritance I have shown you already. Actions, extends, object class. This is the inheritance I have shown you already. Class, how to do inheritance. See, this is the constructor I have shown you, parameterized constructor. These are all methods. Click. See, method name is same. But what is the difference between these two? What is the this click without parameters is going to click at the mouse location. But click web element, where the element is there, it will go and if you pass the element to this click method, it will go and perform the click action on the element. See, this the method name is same. That's what the definition, right? I have given. A class contains multiple methods with the same name, but different parameters. Here 0 parameters, here 1 parameter. That's a parameter order is clearly you're mentioning. So compiler can understand. If you pass no arguments, this method will call. If you pass one parameter, this method will call. This method will call. So there is no confusion also for the compiler. Even though method name is same, because you have to click both of them. That's why same method name you are giving. This is the example for method overloading. Still, many places they use this method overloading. Let me show you. This is one example. It's a simple one example I'm giving. See how many methods. Every method is overloaded. Context click, double click. These are all in the you will perform on the web pages, right? These are all actions you will do. Same thing they are giving here. See, key down. Here key down is one parameter. Here 2 parameters. Key up, 1 parameter. Again another key up, with 2 parameters. This is all overloading examples where you are using Java concept in the Selenium. This is what they will ask in the interviews also. Where you have used Java OOPS concept. Give me an examples in Selenium. You have to give all these answers. Let me show you one more. Chrome options. See, add arguments method. Add arguments method will help you. Lot of methods here in add arguments. See, add arguments. The optional arguments. The same add arguments with collection. Is the collection java.util.list. List of elements you can pass. Or this one is how many elements you want to pass. You can pass all string type. It's the same method name, but the parameter list is different. Data type, one parameter, but here is a list and here it is a optional arguments. This is the how you can so write these methods. See one more. See add extension. Add extension. Same method name, but parameters list is varying. These are all best example for method overload. So many still everywhere you have they used this method overloading concept. You take any example, it is there. So method overloading example. See, this is another example. Attribute to be. Attribute to be. See how many parameters here? By locator, string attribute, string value. But what is this? Web element, string attribute to string value. Here also 3 parameters. Here also 3 parameters. Count is same. But what is the difference between this one and this one? Method name same. But first argument, first parameter, data type is different. Here this element data type is a web element. Here locator data type is a by class. Here element data type is a web element interface. So this is the difference, clear difference they are showing. See one more. Element to be clickable by locator, element to be clickable, web element. This is the point I am covering here. So this is one. Second point. By changing the data type of the parameter. Second point example I'm giving here. This is the one. One parameter only, both. But what is the difference? The parameter data type is different. Here one parameter, here also one parameter. But the thing is, this parameter data type is different. This parameter data type is different. So this is the method names same. See that? Exactly, they are following method naming conventions and method. So the parameters are changing. The parameter data type is changing. So these are best examples. So many are there. If you go through that, everywhere method overloading is applied. See that one more, let me show you. Frame to be available and switch to it. 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 See 4 methods with the same name, but parameter list is varying. What do you want is other than this? 4 methods with the same name. These are all in the class expected condition. A class contains multiple methods with the same name. See, multiple methods with the same name, but parameters are different. Method to method, parameters are different. Okay, so this is what the reality. The Java concept implemented in the Selenium. Okay, that's what. So, and third point, method overloading is not possible by changing the return type of the method. Return type, where it will come? Just method before the return type keyword will be there. If you change that, you cannot achieve method overload. Only parameters if you change, then you can achieve the method overload, but not the method return type. So remember that point. So the question also, another interview question, why method overloading is not possible by changing the return type of the method? So method overloading is not possible by changing the return type of the method because there may occur ambiguity, confusion arises for the compiler. So it doesn't understand which method you have to call. So that's why that is not possible if you change the return type of the method. Can we overload the main method? Yes, you can overload the main method. So you can write n number of main methods, but only execution method is only one we have. Other methods, whatever you develop, you change the data type of the parameters. But execution one is only one, that is public static void main string square bracket args is the only one for execution. Even if you develop different main methods, those are not execution main method. Those are your user defined methods. So you can overload the main method also. So that's what I will show you quickly. Go to Eclipse. Let me show you program, then we can see that. This is the one, right? We are practicing. Go to oops. So I'll create a new class, method overloading demo. I'm following the naming conventions of a class till now also. So I learned first class how to write the class name. Now I am following here. So take main method and click on finish. So I'm going to create a, what is the definition of method overloading? A class contains multiple methods with the same name, but parameters are different. So that's what I'll follow. Public static. So int sum. My method name is sum, int a, comma, int b. So return a plus b. I'm not storing again in another variable all this. Directly I'm returning a plus b output. Next, protected static int sum. Method name must be same, right? That's a rule if you want to create a method overloading. Int a, comma, int b, comma, int c. So what is the difference between above and below?
Parameters.
The parameters are increasing. Number of parameters are increased. Here 2 are there, here 3 are there. That's increasing. You are increasing the parameter list. So that's the easily it will recognize. If you pass 3 parameters, it will come to this method body. If you pass 2 parameters, it will come to this method body. That's the connection will happen automatically. The bonding, the connection between method body and method call. Here you will call, right, in the main method. The call to the method body and the invocation. So it happens at a compile time itself. If you overload the main static methods, any static method you overload, it happens in the compile time itself. That's a early binding, we call that. So early binding example is method overloading the static methods, overloading the final methods, overloading the private methods. So those are all early binding. Early means compile time itself, it will happen bonding between the method body and method call. Method call will happen here. Method body means this is the method body. This is the method body. Whatever the logic you are writing, that's a body. And another one. So Now what is that? Two parameters, right? First method also two parameters are there. This one also two parameters are there. But what is the difference? At least one parameter data type is different. At least one parameter data type is different. See, this data type is I have given float, and this data type we have to given integer. See, another one I am giving. Now I'm going to change the return type, but this is the method name same in all the places. So here this method has three parameters. Only parameters we are increasing and reducing. Here a parameter data type we are changing, but not method name. Now what I'm going to do, I'll try to change the return type of the method. Okay, return type of the method I will change. So double sum, but parameters, same parameters I will give. So int a comma int b. See, it is going to throw an error for you. If you change the return type of the method with same parameters what you declared here, and that's not possible. That's the third point I was covering here. This is the third point I was covering. Method overloading is not possible by changing the return type of the method. So this is the point I'm covering here. This is the one. And this one is by increasing the number of parameters. And this one is by changing the data type of the parameters. Okay, so this is the all. And see now here it is throwing error. In 5th line and 17th line error is throwing. Why it is saying? What is it saying? Duplicate method. It's saying duplicate method. Why here also duplicate? Same parameters to same method, but it doesn't bother about what is the return type. That's why when you change the return type, not possible at all. So you cannot achieve method overloading. So I'm commenting out this. Control shift forward. See, control shift forward slash. So this will comment out that entire thing. Okay, so this is the one thing, and now I will try to overload the main method now. So next the question, right? Can you overload the main method? Yes, I'll show you. So what is the main thing? Method name must be same, but what is the difference you have to see? Parameters should be different. Now it is alone. So here is the array, but here only string one variable I took. So overloading the main method with one string variable, one string parameter. But here it is, this is the one main one execution one, but not this one. This is not execution one. This is your customized main method. This is not execution one. Execution one is always this one only. This one only execution one. You have to call this main method also here below. Then only it will execute this also. Otherwise it won't execute. str equal to hello. str. I can print it. Plus str. Now next one more I will overload. So overload the main method one more time. So this time I'll give integers. Integer A. 1 integer parameter. That's it. A values. You develop logic whatever the way you want. See, that's all difference. You can see the difference. See, here also method name is same. This is the method name same. This is overloading, right? Same method name, but parameters are different. So if I call main method, suppose if we call main method, example 5, if we give, which method it will call now? Now the bonding is happened between, this is the call, method call. Method call will go and connect with which method body? This one or this one?
Second one, end one.
Second one, right? This one, the method body will connect. Because you are passing a parameter integer. That's why it will understand immediately, it will go and connect with this body. And again, if you call immediately, it will go and call first main method because this is a string. You're passing the string parameter. So the connection happens between these two. This method is going to call this method body. The connection is happening. This is called early binding or a static binding, we call this. So that's how you are going to decide the method calling, and this is our method invocation. This is a method invocation. Method invocation or method calling. You're calling the method, the same method name you are calling here for your execution. And then I'm just calling here A comma int B is, it will call automatically the somewhere you are passing some method with the two parameters. I'll pass 7, 9. This will call first, this one. This one it will call. Again, same if you do. So this is going to call third parameter. Is it a sum method? See, this is going to call Kepler. So because it's a float value. That's why I'm giving a second. It's the same order we have to pass. Here, which order it is there? First integer, then float. So I'm passing here also integer first, then float. If you want to change the different values, no issues. So every method you can give a different parameter values. This is all method overloading means. Run this. See, your data is filled with string, hello, good morning, and this is all the output you are getting. So this is all about method overloading. Okay, I'll stop this and we'll go for the next one.